So here we have the function x sine of x divided by 1 plus cosine of x. So we need to find its derivative with respect to x by using the quotient rule. Now this particular question, it was going to involve the quotient rule as well as the product rule, because we have x sine x in the numerator. So let's begin by first applying the quotient rule. So we have 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. Then in the numerator we have 1 plus cosine of x multiplied to the derivative of x sine x minus x sine x times the derivative of the denominator, which is 1 plus cosine of x. So this is going to give us 1 plus cosine of x. Now we have x sine x, we need to find its derivative, so that can be done by using the product rule. So we can consider x to be the first function and sine x to be the second function. So that will give us x times the derivative of sine x plus sine x times the derivative of x minus x sine x multiplied to the derivative of 1 plus the derivative of cosine of x whole divided by 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. So we have 1 plus cosine of x multiplied to x times derivative of the sine function will be cosine of x plus sine x times the derivative of x, which is simply 1, minus x sine x multiplied to derivative of 1 with respect to x is 0, and we have derivative of the cosine function, and that will give us negative sine x whole divided by 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. So let us now simplify the numerator. We'll have 1 multiplied to x cosine of x, so that will be x cosine of x, plus 1 multiplied to sine x will give us sine of x, plus cosine of x multiplied to x cos x will give us x times cosine squared x, plus cosine of x multiplied to sine x will give us cosine of x times sine of x. Now we have negative x sine x multiplied to negative sine x, so that will become x times sine squared x whole divided by 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. So we have x cosine of x plus sine x plus cosine of x times sine x. Then we can take x common, so leaving us with cosine squared x plus sine squared x, which will be multiplied to x whole divided by 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. Now cosine squared x plus sine squared x, this is an identity whose value is equals to 1. So we have finally the given function. So this will going to be the derivative of our function with respect to x. We can further simplify this, so let's do that as well. So we can take let us consider the first term and the second term. So if we take cosine of x as the common factor, so that will be multiplied to x plus sine x, and we also have x plus sine x, so that will be 1 times x plus sine x whole divided by 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. Now what we can do, we can take x plus sine x as the common factor, from the two terms in the numerator, and that will be multiplied to 1 plus cosine of x, whole divided by 1 plus cosine of x whole squared. Now 1 plus cosine of x is present in both the numerator and the denominator, so we can cancel one term. So the final answer will be x plus sine x divided by 1 plus cosine of x. So this is the simplified form. We could have left the answer here as well. So this is going to be the derivative of the given function with respect to x. Let's move on to the next question. So here we have the function x tangent of x divided by secant x plus tangent of x. So we need to find its derivative with respect to x by using the quotient rule. But before that, we're going to simplify this given trigonometric function. What we will do is we are going to multiply the entire numerator and the denominator by the cosine function. So we'll have x times tangent of x, so that will be multiplied to the cosine function, divided by secant x times cosine x plus tangent x times cosine x. So this reduces our function in the numerator to x. So the tangent function is sine over cos, so we have sine x over cosine of x whole multiplied to cosine of x. So the cosine of x gets cancelled, leaving us with sine x in the numerator. So we have x times sine x in the numerator, divided by secant x times cosine x will be 1, because since both the two trigonometric functions are reciprocal of each other, plus tangent x times cosine of x will give us sine x. So let us now find out the derivative of x sine x over 1 plus sine x. So this will be equals to 1 plus sine x whole squared. So in the numerator we have 1 plus sine x multiplied to the derivative of the numerator, which is x sine x, minus x sine x times the derivative of the function in the denominator, which is 1 plus sine x. So let us compute the derivative in the numerator. So we have 1 plus sine x multiplied to the derivative of the product of x sine x, x and sine x. So that means we'll have to apply the product rule here. So we have x times the derivative of the sine function plus sine x times the derivative of x minus x sine x multiplied to derivative of 1, which is 0, plus the derivative of the sine function, which will give us cosine of x, whole divided by 1 plus sine x whole squared. So we have 1 plus sine x multiplied to x times the derivative of the sine function, which is cosine of x, plus sine x minus x times sine x times cosine x, whole divided by 1 plus sine x whole squared, which will give us 1 times x cos x will be x cosine of x, plus 1 times sine x will give us sine x, plus sine x times x cos x, so that will be x times sine x times cosine of x, plus sine x times sine x will be sine squared x minus x times sine x times cosine of x, whole divided by 1 plus sine of x whole squared. So x sine of x times cosine of x gets cancelled. So we have finally x cosine of x plus, here is one more thing. Yeah, that's fine. Plus sine of x plus sine squared x over 1 plus sine x whole square. So this is the derivative of the given function with respect to x. Let's move on to the next question. So here we have sine of x minus x cos x divided by x sine x plus cosine of x. So we need to find the derivative using the quotient rule. So let us begin. So we have x sine x plus cosine x whole squared in the denominator. We have x sine x plus cosine of x multiplied to the derivative of the numerator, which is sine x minus x cosine of x minus sine of x minus x cosine of x multiplied to the derivative of x sine x plus cosine of x. So that gives us x sine x plus cosine x multiplied to the derivative of sine x minus the derivative of x cos x minus sine of x minus x cos x multiplied to the derivative of x sine x plus the derivative of the cosine function, which will be divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared. So we have x sine x plus cosine of x multiplied to the derivative of the sine function, which is cosine of x minus, now we're going to apply the product rule. So we have x times the derivative of cosine of x plus cosine of x multiplied to the derivative of x minus sine of x minus x cos x multiplied to the derivative of x times the derivative of sine of x. So we are applying the product rule to this particular function, x sine x plus sine of x times the derivative of x plus the derivative of the cosine function, which is actually negative sine x, whole divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared, which will be equals to x sine x plus cosine of x multiplied to cosine of x minus x times the derivative of the cosine of x, which is negative sine x. So we have negative x sine x plus cosine of x minus sine of x minus x cos of x multiplied to x times derivative of sine x, which is cosine of x, plus sine of x minus sine x, divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared, which will be equals to x sine x plus cosine of x multiplied to cosine of x. So negative times negative x sine x will become positive. So we have positive x sine of x minus cosine of x minus sine of x minus x cos x multiplied to x cosine of x. So the positive sine x and negative sine x cancels out, all divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared. So here we have cosine of x and negative cosine of x cancelling out. So we have in the numerator x sine x multiplied to x sine x, so that will be x squared sine squared x plus x sine x multiplied to cosine x will give us x cosine of x times sine of x minus sine of x times x of cosine x will be x times sine of x times cosine of x plus x squared times cos squared x whole divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared. So the two terms cancel out and we have x squared times sine squared x plus cosine squared x divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared. So sine squared x plus cosine squared x being 1, so we have x squared divided by x sine x plus cosine of x whole squared. So this is going to be the derivative of the function sin x minus x cos x divided by x sin x plus cosine of x with respect to x, which was determined using the quotient rule. So let us move on to the next question. So here we have the function 2 raised to the power of x times cot of x divided by square root of x. So let us find out the derivative with respect to x by using the quotient rule. So we have square root of x whole squared. Now in the numerator we have square root of x multiplied to the derivative of the function in the numerator, which is 2 raised to the power of x times cot of x, minus the numerator, which is 2 raised to the power of x times cot of x multiplied to the derivative of the denominator, which is square root of x. So here I'm writing square root of x as x raised to the power of half, so that we can apply the power rule here. This gives us square root of x times, now we have the product of the two functions 2 raised to the power of x and cot of x, so we're going to use the product rule. So treating 2 raised to the power of x as the first function, so we have first function multiplied to the derivative of the second function, which is cot of x, plus the second function times the derivative of the first function, minus 2 raised to the power of x times cot of x multiplied to the derivative of x raised to the power of half. So we apply the power rule. We have half multiplied to x raised to the power of half minus 1 whole divided by square root of x whole squared, which will be simply x. So that gives us square root of x multiplied to 2 raised to the power of x times The derivative of the cot function is negative cosec squared x plus cot of x multiplied to 2 raised to the power of x, which is 2 raised to the power of x times log of 2 minus 2 raised to the power of x times cot of x times half. So half can be written as 2 raised to the power of negative 1 times x raised to the power of half minus 1, which is negative half, divided by x. So let's simplify the numerator. So we have negative 2 raised to the power of x times square root of x times cosec squared x plus 2 raised to the power of x times square root of x times log of 2 times cot of x minus 2 raised to the power of x times, so here we could combine the exponents of 2, so that will become 2 raised to the power of x minus 1 times cot of x over x raised to the power of half will go to the denominator and the exponent will become positive, so that means we have square root of x whole divided by x. Now we multiply the entire numerator and the denominator by square root of x. So we have negative 2 raised to the power of x times x times cosec squared x plus 2 raised to the power of x times log of 2 times cot of x minus 2 raised to the power of x minus 1 times cot of x divided by x times square root of x, so that will be x raised to the power of 3 over 2. So this is the derivative of our given function. So we have this derivative. So our function was 2 raised to the power of x cot of x over square root of x.